PV Mail says your mom's instant name is
3 Sons Survivor, because I did.
You survived.
I survived 3 sons.
Well, you're surviving.
I'm still surviving, yeah, exactly.
We're still around.
It was okay. Mama said that it was quite alright. Our kind of people had a bed for the night, and it was okay.
Okay, here's another one. This is from Connor_MCH. And he asks, Sean's mom. I've talked to Connor. He's from over the pond, so it's okay for him to say mom.
I like Mom.
Me too. I'm kind of like start calling you my mom now.
I know.
Awesome.
I watch a lot of those British shows, and they always talk about their mom, and I'm like, oh, that's so endearing.
How did you feel when Shawn competes? Mine is always a complete nervous wreck and is super competitive in the stands.
Okay, so Shawn knows, and he likes to share with everybody, I get bored really easily, and I have attention deficit, so I was always calling.
Well, especially at pole vault meets.
Pole vault meets, so I would always like call and figure out how much longer before he'd actually compete, and then that's when I'd show up. And then when I was there, though, really, really nervous about him not getting hurt, and about him needing and me needing and wanting him to do well. Not for me, but for him. Always for you. It was never about me. And I kind of always go back to when you were younger and dealing with all the anxiety and the depression, and if you didn't have a good meet in karate, how that so severely affected you, and you had to go off and just deal with all those heavy emotions.
And that's just me. Like when we were younger, we'd do karate, like she mentioned too, and is what I remember most vividly is Kyle was like supposed to be 5, but he was 4 because we snuck him in. But she'd be yelling from the seats, "Take his hair! Take his hair! Punch him in the face!" It's completely different with karate and the pole vault. The pole vault's very, not nearly as competitive based between people, where you're not trying to.
Yeah, it was kind of like, get in there!
Break his ribs! Like, they're 4 years old. I know. Alright, this one comes from IAOCH33, aka Doo-Doo or Dodo? How would you say that?
Let's go with Dodo.
Dodo. I want to call you Doo-Doo. Your bro has this thing with the animals. You with trying stuff out 1,000 different ways. In parentheses, curiosity. What's your mom's thing? And has it changed since she was your age?
It's never changed.
9 dogs and 2 birds. But this doesn't even count like the horse we used to have, and 3 goats, and pot-bellied pigs, and ferrets, and rats, and an iguana.
Hamsters, iguanas.
Just say critters.
You say hi, Chloe?
Can I get a kiss? What was Shawn like as a kid, a teen, college, and now? And how has he changed in good ways and bad? This one's from Fishy003Z.
Shawn, as a little kid, I'll try to make it quicker. So as a little kid, super, super introspective, always. I used to get questions even from his daycare asking, is Shawn okay? He just doesn't really seem happy. It's almost like you were always ahead of the game, always. So like if you were 4, the 4-year-olds bored you to death, and you wanted to play with the 7-year-olds. Because you were always the next step up, and then when you got to be 7, the 7-year-olds were doing stuff that you thought was ridiculous, and then you wanted to play with the 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
And then as you got into the teens, that was when we were really in the midst of all of your medication and the severe depression. That was not exactly the happiest time in your life. But then as you got older, we were scared, of course, when off to college you went and how you do, but you tackled that and did great. And then you excelled in school, and you excelled in your athletics, and I'm just so proud of you. And then you pushed yourself too hard, because that's how you are. You're a perfectionist. Then as an adult, you've really changed in that really, really opened your mind with all the new kind of the Zen and the Buddhist type of thinking. Talking to everybody and listening to what their story is has always been really important to you, and it's even more so. And so where I would have, sounds terrible, but I would have maybe like walked right past the so-called bum on the street, you'll stop and talk to him.
Yes.
And so it's kind of opened my mind up, and for you it's the story. The guy's got to have a story. How did he end up on the street?
Yeah.
And you wanted to know it, and I was more of the, I'm just gonna get by.
Yeah, you might have a gun.
Exactly.
That was a good question. That got me thinking a bunch too.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
What's the same and what's different? I mean, you tackle a lot of what's different. And then
The same though, like you said, very introspective, always introspective. My mom used to say you'd go up and spend a weekend with her, and she would always just say, he doesn't ask the normal kid questions. And I'm like, you'd want to ask a question and then have a conversation about it, where the average kid is just like, how come the cow has 4 legs?
Right. I didn't give a shit about that.
No. You wanted to always do the bigger, more important questions in life.
Yeah. The ones Grandma was probably asking when we weren't there.
So what I've seen in your adult life even more is you love nothing better than a good debate.
Yeah, it's always been like that though.
But I mean, it's gotten, maybe you're just better at it.
I think
you've always been good at the debating. My mom always said I grew up and I was the but why child. I always had to ask why, and it just drove her nuts because it was always, she'd answer it and then it would.
You'd get to a point where she's like, I don't know, and then you're like, oh, okay, she doesn't know.
Yeah, and you were the same kind of kid.
But I get mad when you didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you dig any deeper?
That's right.
Why do I have to do the digging now? You're supposed to know this.
Yep. And you will debate anybody on anything. And it's not always about being right and wrong. It's just about the...
Do you want to know my secret to that?
Yeah.
Here's why I do it, because I hate when people get to the edge of their comfort zone and then they stop and they're comfortable.
Well,
so
you push them right over.
I like to push them outside of their comfort zone and make them think. Even if it's like something I don't necessarily agree with, whether it's like abortion or whatever. I won't even go into what my stance is on that. But let's say I get them to this point, I'm like, well, have you thought of this? Right outside that comfort zone. And then they're like, they get upset. And
you make me squirm sometimes. Like, well, I didn't think I thought like that.
So then I'm comfortable leaving because I know I planted this big ass seed in their head that they're gonna be staring with. So so it sounds like manipulative and mean, but I just don't like when people stay in their box and when I know there's more to it.
And I said that to you not too long ago about when you were a kid, and I said that you can manipulate the best of us. And remember you said, I told you were manipulative, and you didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not. And then I looked it up, and I was like, yep.
Because you could manipulate teachers, the school, anybody.
Yeah, kind of like you said earlier, I was always like 4 steps ahead of them.
Because your brain, you were always outsmarting everybody.
Instead of learning like I was supposed to, I was plotting about how to get out of class. So that's why Team Hoot and all this stuff has worked, because it allows me like a productive way to use that tool I have.
And you will push people's buttons, and you're not afraid to.
Nope.
Because you're
my best friends are the ones who like their buttons pushed in it and know how to push mine. And I don't have a lot of really, really close friends, but those are the ones.
Because you're always like, well, what's the worst that could happen? I can lose some subscribers.
I don't have that many anyways. Whatever. Or you can't take away my platform.
Or
to
I
talk
get some
about
new ones. It's like it all works out.
So if you have any more questions, what kind of questions are you open to?
I'm open to anything, and if you get something that I just can't answer, then I'll give you a little bit of an answer.
Yeah, so far it's 100% whatever you can think of.
Yep.
But like if you get to like sexual preferences or something, that might be the line.
That might be the line.
Or it might not be the line, but I'm leaving the room.
I maybe show you in a book. Ask me anything. Mom's got the answers. Mama Mary out.
But I didn't say mine, so I can't hit the thing yet.
I can't ever get it right.
Life's meant to be experienced, and curiosity will get you there.
Mama Mary out.
And we was talking about how to give shorter answers because we both like to tell stories.
Yeah, we like to tell stories, and I said it's called Cliff Notes. And that's how I read all my books all through high school. I never read any of them. All the classics. I just read the Cliff Notes. And I aced all my tests.
I did the same thing.
I never read any of them.
I didn't read Huck Finn.
Neither did I.
But now I kind of want to listen to it on audiobook. I still don't want to read it though.
I know.
But I'm curious what I missed.